Hello and welcome to the SecurityOrb Show. My name is Caleb Charles, your host. The SecurityOrb Show can be found at www.securityorb.com. The SecurityOrb Show is a show about information security, digital privacy, and internet safety with the contributors in the InfoSec field. When we come back, we will be speaking with Sean Philip Oriyano. He is the CEO of Oriyano Media and the author of many fine information security books. And welcome back, everyone. As stated, we have Sean Philip Oriyano with us today. Again, Sean is the CEO of Sean Media, as well as the author of many books, which we'll be talking about today. Hello, Sean. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good today. How about you?
I'm doing very well, and thank you for taking the time to interview with us today here at the SecurityOrb Show.
Anytime.
Great. Before we begin, you are the CEO of Sean Media. Could you explain a little bit what is the mission and what happens in Sean Media?
It's actually Oriyano Media. Sometimes I get messed up.
Oh, okay.
But
Oriyano Media.
No problem.
Okay.
Yeah. What the company does, it's really just me. But what the company does, or to say what I do, is basically it's a few areas, all dealing with security and IT. I do instructing, I do consulting, and then I do my writing / research. So those are the three areas I really kind of focus on, and so I try to stay as close to those as I can. As far as the teaching, most of the teaching I've been doing recently has been entirely focused on security and certification. You know, stuff like, of course, the CEH, the CISSP, plus other certifications. Then I've been doing, little things like forensics and stuff like that. And my consulting part, I do some pen testing, and then I also do discussions with clients on how to develop their programs. Sometimes, because we've had some issues with some of the agencies here in my area that need to bring their stuff up to snuff. And then as far as the last part, the writing, I guess it kind of really explains itself. That's what that is, just writing books and white papers and stuff like that.
Yeah, and another thing that I kind of realized that you're a part of is an entity called IT Pro TV. If you could explain, what is that?
Oh, IT Pro TV. It's a really good project. Glad you brought that up, because it's what it is. It's a video delivered training. So it's something that you can watch through your Roku. You can watch it online, and what it is it's me. It's also got other individuals, and they do all sorts of certification training and skills training, across all different disciplines, not just security. And so what the company does, I actually contract with them. And what they do is, instead of just doing what other companies have been doing in the past, where they present, PowerPoints and stuff like that, and someone just talks over PowerPoints and does some demos, what they do is more along the lines of, I don't know if you recall that the screensaver program that used to be on years ago. Yes. On Tech TV. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that style. So what you've got is you have a single host or co-host. I've been co-hosting, my show, or been a guest, I guess more correctly, on the show, and we will sit there and discuss, whatever the topic is. Like I just did forensics and the CEH course for them, and we'll talk about the different topics, and we'll do some demos and all that, but there's no PowerPoints or anything like that. So it's a lot more engaging. It's a lot more, open, and gotten some good, gotten some really, really good feedback from people that have watched it so far.
Yeah.
As they say, it's a lot more engaging, a lot more energetic than just watching the traditional, hey, here's another PowerPoint,
Yeah, and the topics. I mean, I've seen topics pertaining to the Kali Linux, to the CASP. So it's not just fluff type of information. It's like some real cutting edge stuff that individuals from the beginners to advanced could kind of participate in and listen to.
Yes, that's the really, really good thing about it, is that they're kind of across the board on what they do, and they're still building their portfolio. In fact, the Linux one you just mentioned, I'm going to be doing that one for them in about a week and a half. I'm doing Kali Linux, and then I'm following it up with Metasploit, and so we're really kind of excited to be doing that, to make those things more accessible. And so it's like I said, it's really fun to do, and it's really good to get the feedback from people that they're really liking it. I also mentioned, as far as doing those types of things, it's great for me because it's not just me standing in front of a camera with my co-host on the thing. It's also the fact that when someone's watching that, they can, with their premium subscription or their paid subscription, I only have one subscription right now, what you can do is you can actually ask questions during the show. And so that's a great thing for us. We're taping, people can be watching it live, and they can actually ask us questions. And it's important to also add in there, you can watch the shows live anytime for free. But they also do have, if you want access to their whole library, or if you want to ask questions and stuff like that, it's a paid subscription, and it's actually really, really, really affordable, and they're really, really great people to deal with. So I would encourage anyone that's interested in doing that type of material or want to build their skills up, go for it. Right. It's a really great thing.
And that is itpro.tv is the URL.
Yes.
Okay. And again, www.itpro.tv is the URL of what we're just discussing. You said that individuals could send questions. Is it via Twitter or chat? How do you receive the questions during the show?
During the show, we have a couple screens up. You can't see them; they're off camera, but we can see them. And when the camera's going back and forth between the two of us, the screen in there will actually show questions pop up, and so we can see them right there in real time. So when someone goes into a chat room, that's what it is. They can just go to the chat room and type something in there, and we will see those questions pop up. And we typically address, every question we can, where it's practical, which is usually all of them.
Right. So, an interesting thing is, I have a few of your books, but when I was doing some research on you, I didn't realize that you had this many books out there. I mean, when do you sleep?
I wonder that myself. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you say that, because my friends and family are always asking the same thing. Because not only do I run my own business and do this type of stuff, I also am in the state reserves for the military. I'm a warrant officer over there, so I've got those responsibilities too. And so everyone asks me, when do you sleep?
Yeah. So if you can, I'm gonna throw a couple titles at you. Some of the books I don't think have been published yet, but if you could tell me a little bit about the penetration tester's handbook. I guess that's supposed to be released in 2016.
Yes, it's going to be released later this year, and I don't have an exact release date right now. I'm just going through the editing and all that or not the editing process, but the final process before they actually start printing it up. And so it's supposed to be released later this year. What the guide of that book, or what the goal of that book is when I was writing the CEH and when I was doing the CEH book or CEH class even before, one of the things I've always had an issue with is the fact that when you start looking at, and I talk a lot in terms of certifications. I should mention that when I get into this, is I talk about certifications because it's something that, even though I don't think certification is the end all do all of everything, you still have to know this stuff. At least talk about certifications. It brings everyone on the same page. You can look up what skill level what skills you should have. Or when I'm talking about, a Security Plus person or something like that.
Right.
So, but knowing that, what the problem I had is when you look at the certifications that are out there, you have all these certifications that lead up and go to something along the lines of a Security Plus. So that's the first security certification that someone really hits, and that gives them kind of a taste of the security field, if you will. It tells them the general concepts. It's more than a security awareness course, but it's not kind of a full-blown, full-on security deal. It's just giving that they're putting their first toes in the water, if you will.
Right.
So once they get that one, if someone gets that taste that they want to go further, where do they go from there? Well, they've got some paths. They can go to the CISSP next, or they can go to the CEH next. And so, and the problem with those is that both those certifications are really good certifications. In fact, I feel they're complementary to one another. I feel the CISP is theory and the CEH is practical. And the two, if you have both of them, you can get a really good mastery of the security field and be ready to go to even further down the road to whatever you want. But the issue I've had is that the Security Plus, you go from the Security Plus to those certifications, there's really nothing in between. Now, recently, I know CompTIA has brought up the CASP, but that's still, not a lot of people are doing that, and that still doesn't help the issue that I saw, which is you go from the Security Plus to CEH or CISP. There's nothing really into that to help you develop your skills. All of a sudden, kind of like here's Security Plus, go out and do some stuff, and then come back and see us when you've got some skills and can handle this. So what I want to do with the Penetration Tester's Handbook is I want to have a book that kind of bridged the gap and started, letting people that wanted to go between those two start developing the skills they needed to jump into a CEH. So they can start figuring out how to mold their skills and shape their skills,
right,
and get to where they need to be. So they're not coming into a CEH course or picking up a CEH book or CIS book or course and are lost.
Yeah.
And I saw that. I would see that in my CEH courses. I still see it today. Fortunately, if someone's in a CEH course with me, or I would hope any instructor, that you can leverage the fact that they may not know these things, and you can use it as a way to look at things from a different angle, or you can think of different ways to introduce them to the topic in that class. But it's still some of these skills are still things that they should have coming in. So that's what that book's supposed to do. It's supposed to bridge that gap, and I'm pretty excited about it. The people that have seen it so far have given me positive feedback on it, saying, yeah, it really does, kind of fill in that gap that's there right now.
Right. And I guess in your personal opinion, since you're talking about the gap, do you feel that one of the vendors might need to step up and have a mid-level certification for those individuals that don't have the 10 years that the CASP and CISSP ask for, to try to help them in their continuation of their career and certifications, or do you think everything is fine the way it is?
I really think that there needs to be a kind of an all-encompassing type certification, mid-level, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be something like that in there, because there are ways to get those skills if you did want to go through courses, but you could end up spending thousands and thousands of dollars really easy, and people don't really have those budgets anymore, either personally or on the corporate level. They don't have those. Even the government really doesn't have those anymore. So that's a barrier right there. And then even if you did have those deep pockets to get that, which ones do you get? You know, which classes do you take? There's no guidance on that. So, and then it's